Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Janice DeLucia. I am the program director for the school counseling program at the University at Buffalo. And I want to talk to you a little bit about how we do our admissions here at the University of Buffalo, and then also what will actually happen on the day of interviews, and then what happens afterwards in terms of the acceptance process. The reason I'm doing that is everything's a little different this year because of COVID. We're doing things virtually. And then also New York State has changed some of their regulations that you need to be a school counselor. So we're doing things a little bit differently. Again, I want to start with congratulations. You have passed the first hurdle and that we have looked at your applications and we have decided that you have what it takes to succeed academically in a graduate program at the University of Buffalo. We don't want to bring in anybody who is going to struggle and ultimately may not be able to make it academically. So you have accomplished that first hurdle. Now what we're looking to do is to interview you and to see if you're a good fit for our school counseling program. Do you have basic communication skills, interpersonal skills? Do you have a good sense of what school counselors do? Are you open to feedback? How do you deal with stress and handle pressure? Those kinds of things. And that's what we will be doing in terms of our interviews. So the way our interviews work is we interview on a Saturday morning. This year it is Saturday, February 6th, and it usually takes from 9 o'clock until 12 o'clock for us to go through our admissions procedures. As an applicant, you will each meet with two members of our school counseling advisory board for about 25 minutes. Almost all of them are school counselors or have been school counselors. If they're not a school counselor currently, oftentimes they are an administrator, but they used to be a school counselor and they've stayed very connected to our school counseling program. A lot of them are also our field supervisors. It's really nice because they might interview you and then say that they would really like to work with you because they've already had a chance to meet with you and talk with you a little bit. So you'll have two meetings with individual school counselors. And they want to know things like, why do you want to be a school counselor? Do you know what a school counselor does? Some of them have very specific questions about what would you do in certain situations, or what have you done under pressure, or tell me about an adverse situation. Again, they're trying to get a sense of you. Do you understand what school counselors do, particularly as opposed to what social workers do or school psychologists do or mental health counselors do? We want to make sure that you're really a good fit for our program. And then also, do you have some basic interpersonal skills? We can teach you counseling skills, but we want to make sure that you come in with some basic interpersonal skills. We also will set you up to meet with a pair of our current students. We want you to hear from them what they like about the program, how the placements work, what kinds of things you do, what's the course load like, all of those kinds of things that our students are best able to answer in terms of giving you an honest answer about that. So you'll also have a half an hour with them. And then once that happens, you'll be with us for about 2 hours. You'll have two of these interviews with school counseling advisory board people and then our current students. Once we have everybody interviewed, then we as a group sit down, all of the school counseling advisory board, and we go through person by person and talk about what are their strengths, how well they fit with our program, who might possibly want to work with them as an intern. Typically, we aim to have 20 students in a current class. That way, when you take fieldwork, practicum, and internship, there are no more than 10 students in your class. So following application day, we hope to go out and make usually between 22 and 25 offers to people, hoping that we will end up with 20 people in our class for fall of 2021. At the same time, we go ahead and create a wait list for people who looked really strong, but maybe weren't quite as strong as some of the other people, recognizing that some people may choose to go to other schools or go to other places. And so we always have a waiting list, and that's usually somewhere between 8 and 15 students. And then every year there are usually probably 5 to 6 to 10 students who really are not a good fit for our program. Maybe they don't have a good sense of what school counselors do, or they're just not a good fit for our program and they might be a better fit for another program. So shortly after your interview day, which is February 6th, you will hear from our admissions office. My understanding is that procedure is you'll get an email directing them back to the admissions portal and your decision will be there. If you've been accepted to the program, we want to know very, very quickly, are you coming? And if you're coming full time, what level of placement would you like? One of the unique parts about our program is that our students start their placements in the fall and they are in the same placement, the same school all year long, fall and spring, that first year. So we like to get you in there as soon as possible. So we need to know what level of placement you want. We also take into consideration, so we're going to ask you questions about where you live because we want to know where you are. We want to make sure that we give you a placement that you're not having to drive an extensively long amount of time, though sometimes you do have to drive 25 to 30 minutes depending on where our placements are, but we try to accommodate you as best as can. Also, the other thing to recognize and remember, and we will certainly be reminding you about this, is because New York State regulations have changed, and the new regulations start February 2023. This is the last time we will be offering this master's program as it looks like right now, which is 36 credits. So if you want to be certified by the old school counseling regulations, you need to start in the summer and you need to go full time. And we have the program set up for you to take 2 courses during the summer. They'll be online. 4 courses in the fall, one of which will be your placement in the schools, 1 course during summer, 3 courses, which totals 12 credits and includes your placement in the schools in the spring, and then 1 course in the summer, so that you will be done before the new regulations are going into effect. So if you are thinking about being a part-time student, please reach out. Let me talk to you. Let's go over it and consider whether that's the best option for you. Most of the time, if you're going to go part-time, you're going to end up under the new regulations, which require at least a 48 credit master's degree. We will be a 60 credit master's degree, and the internship hours also go up greatly. So it's something to think about and talk about, and I'm happy to talk with you about that. But anyway, for most of you, you will hear from us either saying you've been accepted into the program, or you're on a wait list, or you're not a good fit for our program relatively soon. Now, if you are accepted into the program, you have until April 15th to let us know whether you're coming or not. Now, if you know for sure, please let us know ahead of time, because then we don't keep holding on for people who are on the waiting list waiting. But you do have until April 15th to let us know whether you will be coming or not. For those of you on the wait list, we will keep updating you about where you are on the wait list. And on April 15th, we should have a really good answer for you about where you are and where you stand with us in terms of admission. As soon as you let me know, I start working on placements for you. And so that's the good news, is if I know everybody by April 15th, then by May 1st, you will have gotten an email from me or talked to me on the phone with, I would be saying, this is your cooperating counselor you're going to be with in the fall. Call them, set up a time either to meet with them in person or virtually, so that you can talk about expectations. You can talk about when you're going to start in the fall, what days of the week you're going to be there, all of those kinds of things. I'd like you to go and confirm that in May, so that by June 1st, I have all the placements set up for the fall and we are ready to roll. There's always a few changes that have to be made, but that's the plan in terms of letting us know so that we can have all of this worked out. So I think that is all. I look forward to seeing all of you virtually on February 6th, and best of luck.